Go live on there. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the FPL Tom deadline streams. It's been a few weeks because of the international break, but we are live back on YouTube and TikTok for the FPL Gameweek 5. No, it's Game 1. It's not even Gameweek 5. It's Gameweek 9. The Gameweek 9 deadline. Like I said, it's been an international break. I've had a few weeks off. I'm a little bit rusty at this, but we're back. We are back. If you are watching on the TikTok, the best thing that you can do is come over to the YouTube stream. The chat moves a little bit slower, so it's easier to kind of, follow along, answer your questions, get your teams in, all that good stuff. All that good stuff. Can see we've already got some regular people in the chat. John David, that TPS player. Good morning, guys, in the YouTube chat. Sean Murphy as well in the TikTok chat. Absolute goat, that guy. Absolute goat. What a guy. What a legend. That's right, mate. It is a Saturday. It's the Premier League, and it is FPL Tom. Like it's just a perfect way to start your morning, to be honest, isn't it? It's just an elite way to start your morning. Like I said, if you are on TikTok, the best thing that you can do is come over to the YouTube stream. The chat does move a little bit slower. You will get to see my team. You get to see all the cool stuff as well. That goes off in the YouTube chat. And as well, a little bit later on, we are going to be reviewing your teams live on the stream. All you have to do is send me your team at FPLTom_ on Twitter. Go to my pin tweet, leave your team there, and yeah, then we'll review it live on stream. I mean, like that's just a perfect win-win situation for everyone, isn't it? To be honest, you get a bit of help, we get to help you out, all that good stuff. Keep your questions coming in as well, guys. Someone's asked, who would you bench? Diaby, Bowen, Solanke, or Alvarez? Ooh, that's a difficult one. That is a difficult one. I think it's going to be a difficult game for both West Ham and Aston Villa. So, that's a real tough one. Maybe Bowen. Maybe Diaby. He's just coming back from an injury, so I'd go Diaby. But like, that's a real tough choice. There's got to be someone better you can bench there. Which game? If you mean the Forest Luton game, not a clue. Not a clue. I mean, Lyle Foster, I said this in the preview stream as well. I thought he would be a great captaincy shout. Not captaincy shout. Great player to bring in. What am I on about today? Mansfield, probably. If you saw like the videos last night that were going around on like Twitter and Facebook of like in between like the Indian restaurant and the what's it called? Curry's PC World. There's just like the massive gush in the street was just overflowing. Like, yeah, that ain't gonna happen. If you have just joined the TikTok chat, the best thing that you can do is come over to the YouTube stream. I can answer your questions a little bit easier. You get to see my team on screen. Oh my days, I can't speak today. You can tell I've not done this in like 2 weeks. Like I'm proper rusty today. Do I play Saka? I think so. I think he's going to play today. If he's been in training, like I think that's a very positive and encouraging sign. He's had like 2 weeks off like me, So he might be a little bit rusty, but I think he'll be back. Going for the bench boost this week. My team is Areola, Turner, Kufau, Cash, Adoji, Trent, Trippier, Saka, Son, Neto, and Buemo, James Ward-Prowse, Haaland, Archer, and Watkins. Thoughts? I'm also captaining Trippier, so very ballsy. It is very ballsy indeed. You've got some players with probably arguably better fixtures in there, like Son and Neto. I think is potentially a great differential shout if you wanted to kind of throw about your captain, but Trippier's been doing the business, hasn't he? He's been doing the business. So why not? Why not? Saliba, I can't remember what the comments were yesterday. I think, again, he's one of those where Arteta's just a little bit sus, isn't he, at the moment in his press conferences? Doesn't really say much. And the Mansfield game has been called off. Yeah, not great, but, who cares? Who really cares? Because this is a fantasy chat. No one cares about Mansfield. How long is Tonali banned for? Don't know, but it's probably looking about a year, isn't it? Like, it has to at least match, if not go further than Ivan Toney's one. Saka and Saliba update. Saka trained today, but, like, that's about it. That's all we've got. So, I mean, that's about as encouraging as it can get, really, from Arteta. Saliba, I need to find the quote that was said yesterday about him. But, yeah, let me find that for you. Let me find that for you, and then we will go and reveal my team for Game Week 9. So if you are on the TikTok chat, come over to the YouTube one. You will get to see my team live on screen. We'll also be reviewing your teams as well in the chat a little bit later. At FPL Tom_ on Twitter. Go to my pin tweet, leave your team there, and we will review them live on stream. Let me find this Saka quote and this Saliba quote. But do keep your questions coming in, guys. Scroll. How's people's weeks been without football? Like, no international break. It's been a bit crap, hasn't it? But it was good for Mansfield. Like, we won. We absolutely battered Notts County in the derby, and I got a ticket. So, who really cares? Who really cares? Right, anyhow, where is Arteta? The fraud? What time was his press conference yesterday? Like, I'm literally just scrolling down Twitter just trying to find this press conference. Here he is. Saka's quote was, "He's been working so hard to be fit for this game. Let's see where he is today." William Saliba has carried a toe injury for weeks, and his availability will be determined in the training today. Again, so both of them, it's pretty much whether or not they went through that Friday session clean and nothing really happened. But, it is what it is. Stags game off to be expected, wasn't it, really? Like the torrential downpour, the streets around the surrounding areas absolutely mudded as well. So, yeah, it does make sense. No, I'm not from Leeds. I live in Leeds, but I'm not from Leeds. I'm from Mansfield originally. But yeah, right. Let's reveal my team. Let's see how we're doing for this week. If you're on TikTok, the best thing that you can do is come over to the YouTube stream. You get to see my team live on screen. The TikTok chat as well goes quite fast at times, so I can't quite always read it. But yeah, it's just a bit easier, isn't it? Bit easier. And like I said, we will be reviewing teams a little bit later. If you want to leave your team at FPL Tom _, go to my pin tweet, leave your team on there, and we will review them live on stream. So yeah, all good. Right, let's dive into my team for Game Week 9. We've got Turner in goal. Hopefully that game goes ahead. But we've got Areola on the bench. Like, it's not the worst thing that could potentially happen. Then we've got Cash, Adoji. Botman's the big one. Like, I'm still debating whether or not to carry my transfer into next week or potentially take Botman out because it didn't seem encouraging. Like, apparently he's back, but there's still got to be kind of stuff that has to be ironed out with him. So I'm thinking maybe Gabriel or Simicast for Botman. If I was going to make a transfer this week, that would be what I would do. But we've got Charlie Taylor on the bench against Brentford. He could easily cover that. I think he could cover that. Cherry curl. That is something I've never been called before. But thank you. Then we've got Diaby, Bowen, Maddison, Salah. Son in the midfield. I'm very happy with that midfield. It's going to be strong for the next few weeks. We've got a plan to either go and get Saka in or Martinelli for one of Maddison and Son, depending what we do with Botman as well. And then a front two of Højlund and Haaland. Some kind of, what's the word? Scandinavian powerhouses up front. So yeah. Mr. Perm. Cracking. Absolutely love that. Captain choices. Haaland back to form against Brighton. Brighton have been conceding a lot of big chances. Like, they haven't kept a clean sheet yet, so I'd definitely be looking at Haaland as a potential captaincy. If you watch the Liverpool game, there were so many chances. So many chances for, Liverpool to exploit them. Salah came away with a 15-pointer as well. So Haaland, for me, I think he's the best captain. I mean, Son arguably is another great shout. But the only thing I'm potentially worried about with Son is that he did pick up a knock in the international duty. Kind of limped off one of the games, and it didn't really look good for him. I think as well he's not really seeing out 90 minutes. And with my captain, I'd like to see them secure 90 minutes on the pitch to kind of get the full use out of them. And then Salah early kickoff Gandhi. So yeah, not too sure about that. That TPS player has asked who should be captaining this week: Salah, Son, Haaland, or Alvarez. Personally, for me, I'd probably go Haaland, Salah, Son, and then Alvarez in that order. I don't have a public league. I didn't think people would be that interested. If you want to see my team, come over to the YouTube stream. It is on screen right now. So yeah, if you want to do that, come over there. It's a little bit easier to read the chat as well over there. Saka and Edouard or Martinelli and someone else. I think there's so many better forward options, to be honest. Lyle Foster would probably be one of my top shouts for this week. Dominic Solanke as well. Bournemouth have got 2 nice fixtures for the next 2, so yeah. Yeah, Stags game's off. Absolutely gutting, but you know what it is. Salah or Haaland, captain. I'm leaning more towards Haaland. But again, I could see why people would go for Salah. Had 2 amazing weeks. Back-to-back in FPL as well. Morning, Chief. Took me half an hour to get your live stream up with all these ads. Look, you know, we've got to pay the bills. We've got to pay the bills. Also, what do you think of my team sent on Twitter? Yeah, we will have a look at some teams a little bit later on Twitter. At FPLTom_. Leave it on my pinned tweet if you want your team reviewing live on stream. But yeah. Hoyland captain, it's not a bad shout, you know. Sheffield United are miserable. They are really, really bad. Have one of the worst XG conceded in the league. So I definitely think it could be a potential shout that you could go for. Diaby or Gordon? I think obviously Crystal Palace have a really good defence, but Anthony Gordon's had a full break, a good rest, especially with that suspension. But is Eddie Howe going to drop him straight back in? Maybe not. Diaby obviously came off in the 60th minute in the Midlands derby because he just come back from not international duty, a knock. Oh my days! I need to get my head on. I need to get my head on today. How do I share my team with you on Twitter? If you want to just leave it under my pinned tweet on my Twitter page at FPLTom_. Leave it me there and we will review them live on stream. You'll be able to see it in the YouTube stream. So if you are watching on TikTok, come over to the YouTube stream, leave your team there and we will review them a little bit later on. We'll get a few more in, get as many as we can in, and then we'll just do a big batch of them. But yeah, it always goes well. It doesn't usually go well. There's always some way it's blocked or hidden. So yeah. I finally hit the button and got rid of Haaland for Salah. Big shout. That is a huge shout. I don't know if I'd be doing that this week, to be honest. Brighton aren't good at the back, so I think Manchester City are going to get some opportunities, and Haaland probably is going to get a big one. A pretty big one, I imagine. I support Tottenham Hotspur. Good for you. Good for you, mate. At what point does Haaland become too expensive at 14 million? Will we start to see his selected percentage fall? I think if he gets another 2 blanks, I think people will start to potentially look to maybe offload him, especially with Liverpool's fixtures being quite nice. I'm thinking around game week 12, game week 13 when Liverpool either play Luton. That's probably the area where if Haaland is blank for another 2 and Salah's cooking going into that Luton game, that's the point where we potentially could see, a little bit more of a kind of dip in Haaland's ownership and kind of a change around in the game and, the captaincies and stuff like that. Jensen in midfield, still good choice for price. Not really. It's one of them, isn't it? There's always these rogue players that are around these bottom prices that just randomly pick up points. But for me personally, yeah, I don't fancy him. But yeah, I am rating teams, but not right now. In a few minutes. Get a few more in at FPLTom_. Leave them on the pin tweet, and we will review them in the YouTube stream. So yeah, if you are on TikTok, come over to the YouTube stream and see it. Saka to Salah, enough money to make the transfer. Do it then. Do it. Why not? Obviously, Saka does have Sheffield United next week, but there are obviously still concerns around his potential injury. But if you've got the right money right now to do that, I'd say go for it. I think Salah's next 4 are arguably better than Arsenal's next 4. So yeah. On Twitter, mate. On Twitter, Noah. I'll take a look, John. I will take a look in a second. Quite a few people have sent me their team, so yeah. Liam's gone for Rashford captain. Well, okay. I mean, it's one of them, isn't it? Really, to be honest, like it's a difficult one. It is a difficult one. Right. Let's start off with let's go on the tweet itself. So we are reviewing them right now. We're reviewing teams live on the stream. So if you want to come over to the YouTube chat, you will see people's teams being reviewed live on stream. Right, here's where the fun actually starts, because it always like blocks a million people. It's John. I got your team, mate. John's team is actually here. It's made it in. John's team is Flecken, who looks to have recovered from whatever random illness he had. Lascelles, Zinchenko, Trippier, and Buemo, Maddison, Salah, Neto, Son, Højlund, and Haaland. John, you need to let me know who your other defender is in case Botman does play, because you know it's one of them, isn't it? A little bit of a kind of issue, but the rest of this team, John, is looking filthy. You know, it's looking fit. It's honestly looking insane. Højlund, big shout for me. You've got the two Spurs boys in midfield. Brian Mbeumo has a good fixture this week. I know him and Brighton, Brentford haven't really been cooking over the past few weeks, but you know what? He's there. He's cooking. Pedro Neto, 5 assists for him so far this season. And you know what? I really wish I went with him. Like last week or the week before, whenever the stream was, I took him out on the deadline stream. What a stupid decision that was, because he then went and got an assist. So yeah, don't follow my advice. Just don't bother listening to me. But yeah, John, just let me know who that other defender is. And the rest of the team, though, mate, it's looking filthy. It's looking very good for this week. I think you're in for a good week. So yeah. Right, let's move on to the next one. Factually Wild. Don't post that, come on. Factually Wild. He is in the Twitter. He's left his team under my pinned tweet. So if you want to do the same, then come over. Come over to the YouTube stream and we will be reviewing your teams live on here. But Factually Wild has left his team. Turner, Trippier, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Adoji, Bowen, Son, Maddison, Salah, Diaby, Watkins, Julian Alvarez. Cash on the bench is... That could be a very honky one. No Haaland either, but... Oh my God. I think, and I mean this, I think I genuinely probably would prefer to play Cash over Diaby. I think Cash is going to see out the 90 minutes. I think I'd rather, play Cash than Diaby. That would probably be the only change that I would make. I just think Diaby is prone to potentially coming off a little bit early, like 65, 75, 80 minutes, whereas Cash is probably going to see out that full game. I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet, but the positions that he gets himself into, he's definitely, potentially looking like he could play. So I think I'd change that. Diaby for Cash is probably the only transfer that I would make there. Swap those two around. Right, Liam. Let's take a look at your team, mate. I know you're in the YouTube chat. Absolute baller as well. Well, sometimes. When you agree with me on certain things. If you're agreeing with me, forget it. Forget it, mate. But his team for this week, we do have Pickford in goal. Okay. I mean, you've got no Liverpool players, so, back the Ev away at Anfield. Big call. Double Spurs defence against Fulham. Probably going to get a clean sheet. Pedporo and Adoji. Matty Cash, yeah. Saka, I think, will play. Maddison, yeah. Brian Mbeumo, yep. Sterling, okay. I mean, I'd probably play Lyle Foster over maybe Sterling. That'd probably be my suggestion. Rashford captain, he's going for it. All I'm going to say is he came off in the 60th minute, but he scored on international duty, so, there's always that shout. Sheffield United are piss poor as well, so it could really work out for you, that one, mate. Haaland and Watkins, yeah, great shout, but maybe I would play Lyle Foster over Sterling. That would probably be my only change that I would make to that team, mate. That is the only change that I would make. Thomas, FPL, he's got 5.4 million in the bank and 1 free transfer, and he's asked me, what do I do? He's got triple Liverpool. Oof. Triple Liverpool, ladies and gentlemen. He's got Luis Diaz, Salah, and Darwin. Oof. No Haaland either, so he's got quite a lot of money free. But the rest of the team is looking ridiculously strong. Like, I don't know what I would do, to be honest. I don't think there's anyone I would potentially be looking to change out of this starting 11, to be honest. Obviously, Darwin and Luis Diaz are potential minutes risks, especially after coming back from international duty quite late. I know they were both in training pretty quick turnaround. I think Wednesday or Thursday they were both back in training, which is a good sign. But again, it depends how jet lagged they are. It's a long flight. I know Luis Diaz as well playing in high altitude, which I know it sounds like crazy to be talking about this, but it is going to impact his potential minutes, his fitness, all this stuff. So Luis Diaz could be the one that's a little bit rogue. Same with Darwin. They could see a little bit of benching. So maybe you want to get like a forward player, maybe someone like Lyle Foster maybe this week, or just roll your transfer into next week. You could upgrade Kabore to maybe someone like Gabriel, get in there early for the Sheffield United fixture next week and Arsenal's good fixture run. But yeah, I don't think there's anything I would be kind of dying to make here, so I think I'd just leave it as is. Maybe captaincy shout. Is Julian Alvarez the best? Probably not. I think maybe going for someone like Salah is a little bit higher up. But I do think, City are going to score. It's whether or not Julian Alvarez is going to see out a full 90. But yeah, there's my thoughts. I think the best thing that you can do is probably roll, take 2 into next week. You could then potentially look to go and get, one of Maddison or Son out for Saka. They've got Sheffield United, so I think that would be something that I'd potentially be looking to do there, mate. Right, let's have a look if we've had any more. So let's refresh this tweet. Let's take a look. We have Sarafaf. I'm honestly sorry if I've absolutely butchered that team, mate. Still haven't used my wild card. Thinking of doing Estepinian to Simicas. Should I start Morris or Sterling? Okay. All right. I mean, I'm going to go and check the Botman kind of injury news. I'm going to go and check it out because I need to know for my own team whether or not he's going to play this week. If he's not, then I definitely think I would be looking to do maybe Simicas or Gabriel as my potential transfer there. And I think I still would start Carlton Morris over Raheem Sterling, to be honest. Like, Forest, they've got a lot of injuries at the moment. I know the game is kind of a little bit up in the air whether or not it's going to be on. But if that's the case and it's not on, then, Sterling's just going to come in regardless. And I think Morris, he is the key figure for Luton. Like, every game you watch of Luton's, he's the man that is like the go-to. He's the GOAT. He's the top baller. It's not Carlton Morris season anymore. But when you watch Luton, all the play goes through him. Every kind of attacking opportunity that they get, from corners, set pieces, all of it is aimed towards him. He's on penalties as well, and we know how much of an explosive asset that is. Is Simicas a good shout? I think so. Especially with Robbo now needing surgery. That means he's not going to be back till 2024. So yeah. When do you play your wild card? Do you keep the transfers for future seasons? You're going to have to be a little bit more clear on that because that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Villa West Ham predictions. I will move on to my predictions in a little while, but we are currently reviewing people's teams. If you want to send me your team at FPLTom_ on Twitter, we are reviewing them right now on the YouTube stream. So do come over if you are on TikTok. Right. Jamie from the chat. How you doing, Jamie? I hope you're doing good, mate. Another regular from the chat. He's got Turner, Cash, Trippier, Pedro, Son, Bowen, Salah captain, Luis Diaz, Darwin, Julian Alvarez, Watkins, Diaby, Zuma and Taylor on the bench. Is a stacked bench, Very stacked bench. And like I said, it's probably the same thing. I can see why you've got Darwin and Diaz, but again, it's that international duty thing, whether or not they are going to be like fully fit and firing. Hopefully we get early team news. If that's the case, then obviously you've got good cover on the bench. You've got Diaby, you've got Taylor, you've got Zuma. All these players are potentially going to play. I know it means you're going to have a lot of players in one game, but it's better than, Luis Diaz being on the bench, coming off for 20 minutes, just stuff like that. So I think, yeah, we should hopefully get early team news on that, Jamie. So, but yeah. You've also just asked me opinions on Watkins captains. I think West Ham are probably a bit too good of a team, to be honest, to really be doing that. So, yeah, that would be that. George Abbott, he's left me his team. Is this the Sun one? This looks like the Sun one. If this is the Sun one, mate, I have no idea how that works because it's got like Champions League fixtures in here and stuff. My dad plays the Sun one. I don't really have a clue. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's a good double fixture for Arsenal there. So yeah, I don't really know how this one works. I do apologise. I'm not too glued up on it, but yeah, it looks good. It looks good, mate. It looks good. Juan He Chan or Douglas Luiz? Ooh, I'd probably go with Juan He Chan. You know, like Douglas Luiz has only realistically got the penalties. That's like his only asset that he has. So yeah, that's about it. Is Saka starting? We don't know yet. The quotes from Arteta were basically around his training. Like him and Saliba were both like, we need to see how they get on in training. Yesterday was kind of the quotes from Arteta. So it's a little bit up in the air. He might start, he might not. But the fact that he's been training well over the international break would suggest that he is in a good place to potentially start this game week. Should I keep him? I think so. Like, as long as you've got a good little bit of bench cover as well, I think you should be fine because, you know, obviously he's got Sheffield United next week, and that is a fixture that I feel a lot of people are going to be dying to have players in. And if you've already got Saka in there, then I think it makes sense. Jamie's sweating on Diaz and Darwin himself, thinking Wilson mid, depending on leaks. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's all dependent on leaks, isn't it? We're all going to get leaks. George, I reviewed it the best I can, but like I don't really know how the Sun one works. So I can't really like recommend players when I don't really understand the game and the dynamics, to be honest. But yeah. After you play your wildcard, do you keep the transfers for future game weeks? Yes, you do. So any players that you bring in on a wildcard, they all remain in your team. A free hit is only for 1 week. A wildcard is permanent. So any players that you bring into your team, they will remain in the team. Alanga, Nunes, and Neto, decent shouts for this weekend. How do we send me your teams? Curtis, I think Neto is probably the best out of all those shouts. The other two, yeah, a little bit mid. I'm not really fancying them. Pedro Neto would be the one. And if you want to send me a team at FPLTom_ on Twitter, leave it under my pinned tweet and I will review it live on stream. But yeah, do keep the questions coming in, guys. I'm going to go and find this Botman quote because it is bugging me and I've had a few questions about it and I need to know for myself. So let's go and find this Botman quote because we need to know. Everyone needs to know. People are sleeping on Hwang, potentially, but like Pedro Neto just seems to be the go-to man at the moment, doesn't he? He seems to be the one. What were the quotes from Eddie Howe about Botman? Because this is going to make or break my weekend. And then we have some fun stuff to decide if not. Sven Botman is improving from the injury that kept him out. What does that even mean? What does that even mean, Eddie? Sven Botman is improving. Right, let's Google it. Let's give it a Google. Sven Botman. This is Rogue. Do I trust that choice? Sure. If we get any weird pop-ups on this website, then yeah, we're done, aren't we? Oh my days. How many pop-ups do they have on like these local websites? Missed the last 4 matches, but expected to be close to a return after... Yeah, they're saying he's not going to be back this week, which is a concern. So that is making me think I might take Sven Botman out. It's not looking good. So this article is basically saying that they think he's going to be back for the Wolves fixture next week, and he's not going to be here for the Crystal Palace one this week. But it is a big gamble, isn't it? It is a big gamble. Do I take out Saliba for a player like Tsimikas for this week? It's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult. Like, obviously, if you look at Arsenal's fixture in isolation this week, Chelsea, yeah, it's not the greatest, but, you know, they've started the season extremely brightly. And then, after that, I'm just going to load their fixtures up because they are phenomenal. It's Sheffield United, Newcastle, Burnley, Brentford, Wolves, Luton. It's a great run. It is a great run. So I feel like Yes, Simicast looks appealing on paper at the moment, but I think he is going to see a little bit of rotation. The next 4 for Liverpool are fantastic. Everton, Nottingham Forest, Luton and Brentford. And I can see why so many people are jumping on him. Fulham and Sheffield United after City as well. But I think I'm leaning more towards going for someone like Arsenal and just keeping them. Gabriel, someone like that. Right. FPL MFZ has left me his team. He's going for the wild card in game week 10. I need a 1 week punt. Option 1, Morris to Solanke / Visser. Only have 6.7. Option 2, Estepinian to Paro. And play a 4-5-1. Play Turner or Onana. I play Sheffield United. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. I think leave Turner and let the gods decide whether or not that game's going to go ahead. That would be my choice there. If you're looking for a shout, I don't even think Morris is like the worst shout that you could have this week, you know. Like, he's been pretty good. But maybe if you wanted to go for someone, Lyle Foster or Dominic Solanke would probably be my 2, like, rogue shouts. But I definitely don't think, like, you know, Morris is the worst option that you potentially could go for. So maybe someone like, if you wanted to go for that double Spurs defence, that could be an option. Go get Ped Porro for Estepinian. That potentially could be an option. Because I don't think Morris is the worst shout in the world. So that's the way I'd be leaning, to be honest. That is the way that I would potentially be leaning. Right, let's have a read of some of your questions. Thank you for sending me a teams. Josh AFC in the YouTube chat as well, a regular of these streams now. Thank you for participating yet again. Tom, I'm thinking of selling Son to have Odegaard and cash for a -4. Reason being for long-term holds and enjoy the match day with Arsenal attacker and somewhat less owned punt. I get that, but I definitely would hold Son just for one more week. Like, that Fulham at home fixture is it's a really good fixture. You expect Spurs to do like something amazing. Well, I do. I hope anyway. So yeah. Oh, if Morris is cancelling Turner, then yeah, go for Solanke or Lyle Foster. Those will be my 2 striker picks for like a 1 week punt. Thoughts on Ward-Prowse to Gordon or nah? Maybe next week, but not this week. Like, you know, Aston Villa, really good team. I think it's going to be a very good game. Obviously, James Ward-Prowse did score those 2 worldy free kicks a few seasons ago against Aston Villa, which, is he going to do that again? Probably not, but, you know, once I've said it, yeah. I'm doing good, mate. I'm doing good. I hope you're doing well too. Is Nunes starting? Don't know yet. Hopefully we can get early team news on that and see if he is starting. I'm doing something I haven't done yet this season. I'm rolling the transfer because my team is good enough and I'll have 2 transfers in game week 10. I'm feeling that. I am feeling that, to be honest, mate. Hopefully it works out. But we'll see. What else have we got going off? FPL is back. Submitting my team, no Haaland. I think that could be a big risk this week, you know. Honestly, Brighton are not good at the back. I'm going to get it up very quickly. Let's see where they are for XG conceded. I think they're down the bottom. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Right, let's have a look. So, teams expected conceded. It goes Sheffield United, so bring those guys in. Bournemouth, Luton, West Ham, Wolves, Fulham, Burnley, Brighton. See, they're pretty much the bottom half for XG conceded. At the other end, it's City, Arsenal, Newcastle, Chelsea, and Brentford and Palace. So yeah. I definitely think Haaland's going to get some opportunities today. I do. No Haaland versus Brighton is crazy. I completely agree. Haaland, Son, Salah, Madders, captain. I'd probably go Haaland, then Salah, then Son, then Madders as a list. Rodri is back as well, which is great. That'll help City out massively. How do you send me a team? If you want to leave it me on my Twitter at FPLTom_, leave it under my pinned tweet, and we will review a few more of those a little bit later in the YouTube stream. So if you want to come over to YouTube as well, leave them there. Leave them there. What about Captain Son? Still thinking if he might disappoint last week with many. I was lucky to go for Salah. I can't captain a player that I can't guarantee will see out a game or see out a large proportion of the game. So I just wouldn't go for him, to be honest. But yeah, that's my kind of thoughts on that. Right, Botman. We need to have a look. Who's gonna? It's Simicast, or it's right. Let's get this up. And make sure you guys can see it. Oh bollocks! Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me put that there. Don't want you guys getting my team pin. No. We don't want that. Because you can see all my important, cool stuff and what I'm up to in the week. No. Right. Okay, we've loaded that in. Let's have a look how that looks for you guys. Not that one. I mean, that's not really gone to plan. But it's sort of there. So we can kind of see what I'm doing at the moment. If you are on the TikTok chat, we are currently looking at my potential plans for transfers for this week. So if I did Botman to Gabriel, do we have enough in the bank to do that? We do. We have enough in the bank to do that. Play Gabriel. Great. Cool. Whatever. That's the team for this week. Then how would it look next week? Sheffield United, Crystal Palace, Luton. Oh, Charlie Taylor had a Bournemouth as well. So I think we're looking in a pretty good position. So I could again... Yeah, that's fine. Newcastle, who would cover? Charlie Taylor. That would probably be the week. This would be the week then that it would be a little bit muddy. I mean, Newcastle again, I'd probably just play him. So I think I am leaning towards potentially going for a late Gabriel transfer. But we need to kind of figure it out. So that's the current thoughts. Let's review some more teams on stream. Let's review some more teams for you guys. Gary McDivitt, what are your thoughts, mate? I have one transfer available. He's got Turner, Cash, Burn, Adoji, Son, Maddison, Saka, Bowen, Julian Alvarez, Watkins, Haaland captain. Diaby third sub, bit rogue. I'd probably bump him up to first sub. In terms of transfers that I'd look to make, I'd probably just hold. I think your team's in a really good position. If you want to put Diaby first sub, that means he'll come in for Saka if he doesn't play. So yeah, that's probably what I'd do there, to be honest. I'd roll the transfer, take 2 into next week, because you probably want to get rid of, realistically, one of Son or Maddison next week with Crystal Palace, and then like fixtures kind of taking a little bit of a tail off there. So yeah, that's probably what I would suggest doing there, to be honest. Rolling the transfer, take 2 into next week. You know, be a little bit more clearer. There's always stuff after the international break that goes a little bit wrong. Up the Stags. Want to start Morris over him? Oh, there's 2 people having a chat and their thing. Yeah, we're just going to leave them to do their thing. Would you start Simicast or Cash? Probably Cash. I probably would start Cash, to be honest. Botman being uncertain helps my Lascelles for a week more. Yeah, I probably agree with that. 1 more week, I guess. But yeah. Neto a decent shout? Yeah, 100%. I think so, Ben. I think he's a good shout. How do you text you on Twitter? It says I have to subscribe. I mean, it doesn't. You don't have to. You don't have to subscribe to like my Twitter or anything like that. If you mean on the YouTube, yeah, you have to subscribe to write in the chat. And you know, why would you not want to do that? But if you want to leave your team on the TikTok, leave it there. I will try and find it and see it. But yeah, it could be one of those. Start Botman or Odegaard? I'd probably go Odegaard. Flecken, Adoji, Trippier, Simicast, Salah, and Buemo, Son, Diaby, Gordon, Haaland captain, subs, Areola, Cash, Porro and Barmer. Rate my team. Oh, my days. It's difficult. People benching Matty Cash is a little bit difficult. Ped Porro being on the bench is rogue as well with Fulham at home. I'd probably start Porro over Tsimikas. Just the derby, it throws up unexpected things. Everton have actually been quite good going forward. Have one of the highest XGs going. I think they're second for XG as well at the moment. So they're definitely going to create some good chances. Liverpool defence as well. It's not been solid as it this season. So to be honest, I think I would probably go Porro over Tsimikas. Captain Salah or Watkins. I probably lean more towards Salah than Watkins. He's been extremely good over the past two, hasn't he? So yeah, I'd do that. Is Tsimikas a good shout? Yeah, I definitely think so. Robbo looks like he's going to be out till the start of next year. He's going to at least need surgery, so it could be quite a lengthy injury for him. Son, Maddison or Haaland captain. I'd probably go Haaland, Son and Maddison in that order as my potential kind of picks for this week. I need a 1 week punt, a 4.6 million defender for Botman. Who would you go for? Good question, that. I like that. Who's got a good fixture? Probably one of the United boys. Maybe like Johnny Evans. That would be a rogue shout, but like, yeah. I think he's still going to play. So probably one of the United boys with Sheffield United. Maybe a Forest defender like Aurier. Yeah, someone like that. Maybe Dan Burn. There's a few shouts for you. What else is Cash or Ben White? I'd probably lean more towards Matty Cash. I think he's got that higher potential for a haul, like a mega haul, than Ben White. But Arsenal have been a really good defence so far this season. But I'd probably still lean towards Matty Cash. Haaland, Son or Salah for captain. I'd probably go Haaland, Salah, Son in that order. Those would be the ways that I'd go for that one. Turner, Porro, Cash, Burn, Salah, Son, Madders, Bowen, Almiron, Watkins, Haaland, captain. No transfers this week. Take 2 into game week 10 for the fixed swings. Yeah, I think that's smart. Areola, Trippier, Cash, Adoji, Burn, Salah, captain, Diaby, Maddison, Son, Watkins, Alvarez. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good team. Archer going to score now, he's third sub. Mate, if Cameron Archer scores a goal, fair play to him against United. Who did you end up bringing in, Jake, in the end? I mean, we had some pretty wild chats last night, didn't we? -4s. Philip Billing was mentioned. Some pretty crazy stuff. I'm not going to lie. Outrageous. Cash or Tsimikas in the Sun. They have double game weeks for Europe. I'd probably go... Probably Tsimikas, because you imagine he will play. They don't have too much cover at that left-back position, so probably Tsimikas. Beck's 6.7 or less midfielder other than Diaby. Probably looking at someone like James Ward-Prowse with the fixture run coming up for them. Maybe Pedro Neto, Gordon. Those would probably be your best few. Do you think Bowen to Odegaard and Cash to Tsimikas is a good shout, or roll my 2 free transfers? No, I'd be leaving Bowen and Cash. Game week 10, their fixtures kind of swing, don't they, in like a positive way. I know this week is a little bit dodgy, but longer term their fixtures are great. Predictions. That's a very good shout. Let's go to the predictions. Not that one. Here are my predictions for this week. So we do have the Merseyside derby at 12:30. I've gone for a 1-0 win for Liverpool. I think that could happen. I could see that. Bournemouth Wolves, I've gone for a 2-0 win for Wolves. Brentford Burnley, 1-1. Manchester City Brighton, I've gone for a 3-2. Hopefully it is a cracking game. A thriller is what we all would like to see. Newcastle Palace, 0-0. It just honks for 0-0. Nottingham Forest Luton, I've gone for a 2-0 win for Nottingham Forest. Arsenal versus Chelsea, I've gone for a 3-1 win for Arsenal. Sheffield United versus Manchester United, I've gone for a 4-1 win for the Red Devils. Villa West Ham, I've gone for 2-2. And then I've gone for a 2-0 win for Spurs over Fulham in the early parts. But yeah, those were my predictions. How do I send it to you? Either on Twitter or just type it in the chat. There you go, mate. There we go. Yeah, if someone else has said, just send on Twitter. At FPL_Tom_. Leave it in the pin tweet, and I'll review the teams. Let's go and have a little scout around. See if anyone else has left me their teams for me to review. We have had a few more. Mate, you says... Yeah, I really apologise. Robertson to Tsimikas or Van Dijk, Decore to Bowen or Gordon. I'm guessing you've got 2 free transfers. I mean, to be honest, you could just play Matty Cash. That could be a potential option. Like, you've got no West Ham players to kind of contradict that. So you could just go Cash to Robertson if you only have 1 free transfer. And then go Decore to Gordon. That's probably what I'd potentially suggest doing. Or just doing Robertson to Tsimikas would probably make the most sense, to be honest, wouldn't it? It's just, you get to keep the Liverpool fixture. You've also got no Salah in here. You probably want to take advantage of the next 4 fixtures for Liverpool as well. So yeah, I'd probably do Robertson to Tsimikas. But if you don't want to do that, you could just hold and put Matty Cash in and then do Decore to, what's his name? Gordon. Yeah, there we go. Noah has sent me his team as well. He's got Turner, Adoji, Cash, Burn, Maddison, Jensen. I think you were in the TikTok chat asking me about Jensen earlier. Salah, Son, Haaland, Watkins and Højlund. You know what? Anytime people come in here with these rogue-ass shouts like Jensen or just... Who was the other one? Someone triple captained Rodri the other week against Sheffield United. Like, just absolutely rogue kind of transfers. They usually pay off. So why not? Why not, ladies and gentlemen? But yeah. Salah captain, I rate. No issues there. Love that front three. Absolutely full of attacking kind of intent. So yeah, I think this team is going to do extremely well. So I think you're in a good position there, mate. Next team we're going to review is on screen right now. Again, I do apologise with pronunciations. It's not my strong point. It's not my go-to kind of skill. Like, oh yeah, I can really pronounce names. So if you're, yeah, I do apologise. Turner, Burn, Adoji, Cash, and Mbeumo, Foden, Son, Bruno Fernandes, Haaland, Julian Alvarez, and Watkins. Saka on the bench. I mean, who realistically would you potentially drop him for? No one. And if he's not 100% fully fit, and you get Sheffield United next week, I think that's fine. This team looks in a really good position. Son, captain. Again, I'm not 100%, but I get why you would potentially go for him. I'd probably be leaning more towards Haaland as a potential captaincy shout over Son, just down to the minutes mainly. But yeah, I definitely can see why you would potentially do that. Someone's asked Mbeumo or Bowen to start. That's difficult. Like, Mbeumo and Brentford have been really poor, but this Burnley fixture is good. They're at home as well. Hopefully they can bounce back. International break as well. Probably would have given them a little bit of time off. So yeah. Okay. I'd probably go more. Oh, that's so tough. Let's go Mbeumo. Jake's asked me about his team. How about Tsimikas and Solanke for a -4, or that's silly? I mean, you've already got Trent, so I don't necessarily think it's worth a double up on the Liverpool defence. You're not overly good at keeping clean sheets, are you? So probably not worth the double up. Just go get Solanke, lad. I know you want to go and get Solanke, so just go and get Solanke. But yeah, I don't think the -4's needed. You've joined the Charlie Taylor hype. I get it. It's just going to work out. It is just going to work out, mate. It's just going to work out. But yeah, I don't think the -4 is needed. You've already got Trent covering off that Liverpool defence. He's arguably the more likely to get an attack in return over Tsimikas as well. So I don't think there's any necessary thing to do for that. So just go and get Solanke. I know you want to go get him. Who will score in the Man United game? Hopefully Højlund, triple hat-trick. Yeah, why not? Højlund, I'll take that all day long. Is Saka playing? Apparently, maybe. Because the quotes from Arteta were basically, he's trained well over the international break. We just have to kind of see how it kind of goes for him. But yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? Cheers for sending me a team. Oh, Josh just had to wish his sister happy birthday. Well, happy birthday to Josh's sister. You know, I'm sure she'll be delighted that she's been mentioned on the stream. What a lucky gal. What a lucky gal. Took a punt on Jota this game week. Nunez and Diaz late coming back from international duty. They were, but they were also back into training quite quick. It's just one of them. We are hopefully going to get early team news on that. Fine, I'll triple captain Solanke if you insist. Hey lad, I didn't say the words triple captain. They didn't come out my lips. I know you've wanted to bring him in. And you know what? Go for it, mate. Go for it. Trust your gut. Don't listen to my advice either, because it always goes wrong. So just do the opposite. So Tsimikas is scoring. Solanke's doing jack shit. Just go the opposite of whatever I say, mate. Two of these out of these three to start. Morris, Diaby, Gordon. Probably go Morris and Diaby. Morris and Diaby, I'd probably go. Nunez bench, Diaz, Jota, Salah start. Where have you got that team news from? Favourite 1 week punt, Saka to Jota or Rashford or Alvarez to Højlund. Probably, I'd keep Alvarez for this Brighton game though, you know. But I do like Højlund as a potential 1 week punt. If we get news that Jota's going to be starting, probably him as that 1 week punt. Right, people are saying there's early team news out and about. Any chance I could rate your team? Yeah, if you want to leave it me on Twitter, at FPLTom_, leave it on my pinned tweets. But yeah. No early team news yet. Which is a little bit concerning. But we'll get some. We definitely should get some. But yeah, if you want to leave me your team, come over to Twitter, at FPLTom_, leave it under my pinned tweet. And I will review it there. Make sure I've not missed anyone. Apologies if I have missed your team. Do just shout at me. Yeah, we've not seen Matthew Carr's team. I do apologise, Matthew. If you are still in the stream, I do apologise. We will review it now. Vicario, Trippier, Walker, Cash, Son, Bowen, Neto, Maddison, Watkins, Julian Alvarez and Haaland. Very strong there, to be honest, mate. No potential transfers that I would be like overly looking to make. I think if you've not made your transfer, roll. And if you are thinking about a transfer, I don't think there's anyone that I'd be absolutely gagging to get in. Maybe like Salah, but it would disrupt the team structure. You probably can't even afford him as well. So I think just leave it for this week. I think that team looks pretty strong, I'm not going to lie. Let's have a look if anyone else has left me their teams. This one I haven't seen. Poker God. Nice name. Alisson Becker, Dalot, Trent, Ake, Neto, Kulusevski, Alanga, Odegaard, Haaland, Højlund, Darwin, Saliba, Sterling, Thiago Silva and Leno on the bench. Very rogue players in here. Some very rogue players in here, isn't there? But you know what? Go for it, mate. Go for it. Obviously, we spoke about Darwin potentially missing the games, but we'll see about that. Hopefully, we can get some early team news, and that's going to impact whether or not he is going to be playing. But yeah, if you are on the TikTok chat, I've seen a few people ask me about kind of where to send me your teams. Send it me at FPLTom_ on Twitter. Go to my pin tweet, leave the team there. And if you want to come over to the YouTube stream, come over here. The chat moves a little bit slower. I can go back, scroll as well, answer any of your questions. And it is reviewed live on screen as well. So you can kind of see the suggestions that I'm making a little bit more clearly. Which is always great for you. And you know what? While we're here as well, we are trying to hit 2,500 subs. I think we're about 240 people away from that. So if we could do that like in the next month, that would be absolutely amazing. So if you do enjoy the content either here on YouTube or on TikTok, do hit that subscribe button. But yeah, that's enough waffle. Let's crack on. I rate this team. It's full of just weird, random differential players that I kind of rate. You know what I mean? When you just see someone's team that's just a bit too rogue, but you know one of these players is absolutely just going to slap it 1 week and it's just going to work out for them. But yeah, hopefully we can get some early team news on that Liverpool side. Find out if Darwin and Nunez are playing. Who else has sent me their teams? Cameron, I think you're in the TikTok chat. What's my league code? Don't have a league. I definitely should create a league code for next year, shouldn't I? Martinez, Saliba, Adoji, Lascelles, Gibbs, White, Maddison, Son, Bruno Fernandes, Højlund, Watkins, Haaland, captain. Bowen on the benches. Oof. But who would you realistically play over him, to be honest? That's it, isn't it, to be honest? Yeah, I don't think there's any transfers that I potentially would be making. Obviously, if you put Bowen in as well, he would be clashing with Martinez. So again, I think you've made all the right calls there, cameraman. No immediate transfers I potentially would be looking to make either, so I think you've done the right thing. Aiden, he has said he's got Areola, Archer, Chukwuemeka and Lamptey on the bench. The rest of the team, Turner, Cash, Burn, Trippier, Pedporo, Son, Maddison, Salah, Diaby, Watkins and Haaland. Again, don't think there'd be any transfers that I'd be looking to make. I think this team is extremely strong for this game week, so do just roll the transfer, take 2 into next week if you haven't already made your transfer. Salah captain, I rate. I probably would be more leaning towards Haaland, but again, Salah's not a bad shout, is he? He's had 2 amazing weeks, so yeah, no issues there. No issues there. Right, what is happening in the YouTube chat? What are people saying? I'm tempted to do a hokey cokey with Saka to Man United for this week to target the Blades. Yeah, why not? Like, his price has gone all the way back down to his starting price, so whatever value you had in him has already vanished and disappeared, so not on it. How much are you putting on a Tonali start? Nice. Gambling joke. Oh. Funny man. Funny man. Is Aurier fit to play? I have no idea. I genuinely have no idea about Serge Aurier. Let me have a check. Data. Let's have a look. What has been said? How do you even spell his name? Jesus. Serge Aurier. What's it saying? No, it looks like he's going to be out on November. Apparently. A groin injury. So yeah. Ignore whatever I said about Serge Aurier earlier in the stream. Whoops. Any Liverpool team leaks? Not yet. Not yet. But we will get them. What's your opinion on Wilson? How long is Isak out for? I don't think the Isak injury is a long-term one, from what I can remember reading. So Callum Wilson probably would be a short-term punt. But again, he was struggling with an injury pre-kind of international break. Whether or not he's fully recovered from that does remain to be seen. But both of them, when they play, are bagsmen. It's just whether or not you can kind of risk it out. Like looking at my dad's team, he basically brought in Isak. He was on the bench for 2 of those games, but still came away with like mega points over the past few weeks, outscoring some other players as well. It's whether or not you kind of want to play the risk headache of potentially being benched, but it's one of them, isn't it? Start Gabriel or Matoma. I'd probably go more Gabriel, to be honest. Nah, I probably wouldn't. I'd leave it. I'd leave the sub-keeper question. I'd just leave it. I don't like wasting free transfers on goalkeepers. Like, they have such a limited ceiling available for these goalkeepers. Unless you're Leno, where, like, the game absolutely just rim-licks you and, you know, they're going to give you a free bonus. You know, save points galore. Yeah. Will Darwin start? This is the thing, like, he's going to be... He obviously was quite late back from international duty. Not as late as previous, like, kind of international breaks. Him and Diaz were both in training yesterday and Thursday. But, again, it's a long-ass flight that they've come from. So, it's a difficult one to say. Start Almiron or use my free transfer? Who would you be looking to bring in, then? Who would you be looking to bring in, Sean? Predictions for Chelsea-Arsenal. I've gone for a 3-1 win for Arsenal in my predictions. Matt has asked Saka or Odegaard. Probably this week be leaning more towards Odegaard. Longer term, I'd want Saka in. Yeah, I'll check your team in a minute. If you want to send me your team at FPLTom_ on Twitter, leave it me there in the pinned tweet. And yeah, it will be reviewed live on stream. You have no faith in Chelsea. Chelsea have burnt me this season, and yeah, now they're stuck. But Arsenal are looking really good, aren't they? Like, unbeaten so far in the league. Good expected data as well. So yeah. Greg sent me his team as well. Let's go and take a look because quite a few people have sent me their teams. Right, let's take a look. Here's Greg's team. Right, we'll do Greg's team first. Turner, Botman, Digne, Tsimikas, Saka, and Mbuemo, Salah, Neto, Son, Julian Alvarez, and Haaland. I'm guessing you have a free transfer left, but I mean, captaincy shout is such a difficult one, isn't it, this week, to be honest? I think going Haaland is probably the safe option. Like, you imagine against a Brighton team who are conceding a lot of great opportunities. If you watch the Liverpool game, they conceded so many opportunities. So I definitely think there is room for Haaland to have kind of a mega day. And if he blanks in this one, then I definitely think we are going to have to start looking at maybe selling him or maybe looking at alternatives for captains. But I think this is the week that I would be looking to captain him. I think Salah is also a great shout. But it is then you're going up against Gandhi, early kickoff kind of vibes. Liverpool never really batter Everton as well in these kind of Merseyside derbies. They're always quite tight, a little bit boring at times as well. So I probably would lean and stick with Haaland for your captain there, to be honest, Greg. That would be my advice, mate. That would be my advice. Twakir. I do apologise if I'm pronouncing these names wrong. Yeah. It's not a strong suit. No worries, Greg. Hope you're enjoying the stream, mate. Turner, Trippier, Cash, Pedro, Gordon, Salah, Bowen, Son, Diaby, Darwin, and Haaland. A Doji on the bench is very rogue. Especially, I'd probably bench Gordon for a Doji. I know that sounds mental, but I would. Crystal Palace are one of the best teams. They've kept 3 clean sheets in a row now, especially in terms of defensive data. So, they're a really good side. So I probably would bench Gordon for a Doji. It sounds mental, but Crystal Palace at home, it's not as appealing of a fixture to me that it seems on paper. Yes, it's a green, but yeah, I don't think I'd be looking to do that. So I'd probably change a Doji for Gordon. That would be my shout there. Next person's left me their team. It is Zada. Should I do anything with my team? 1 free transfer. And the answer to that question, no. It's in a really good position. Take 2 into next week. Then you can look to maybe get an Arsenal player in. One of Maddison or Son to come out for a Saka or a Martinelli, depending on fitness and injuries. But yeah, I don't think there's anything you need to be doing. Take the 2 into next week. Nothing wrong with holding. There's always shocks, kind of surprises and injuries after an international break. So yeah, I'd do that. I would do that. Ethan Cobb, I'm doing all right, mate. I'm doing all right. I hope you're doing well too, mate. I've got Haaland and Watkins up front. Great combination. Great shout. Take out Saka or Sterling for Neto. Probably be leaning more towards Sterling. The next 5 fixtures for Chelsea are grim. Will Saka play or should I just bench him? Again, I can't really comment on that. The questions around it were he's been in training and it was kind of a last minute wait and see how he gets on. Same with Saliba as well. Both of them have kind of had positive quotes from Arteta, but there's nothing kind of concrete to kind of go off. Both have been in training. It's whether or not they passed that late kind of fitness test and did well in yesterday's training to kind of justify them potentially starting. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. Diaby or Matoma? Matoma after game week. What game week win? Game week 9 to game week 10. Brighton's fixtures take a really good turn. So yeah, I'd probably be looking to go Matoma at that point. But yeah. I'd probably go Diaby then. Diaby for this week. And I just do fancy him. I just do think he looks really good. Definitely a player that passes the eye test for me. Like I said, guys, do keep your questions coming in. We will try to answer as many as possible before the deadline. Hopefully we can get some early team news as well around the Liverpool side. Maybe it makes my mind up. Maybe it helps me make some better decisions, but we'll wait and see. I'm probably still going to do something stupid last minute like I did last week. Would you back Bruno and Rashford still or just get rid? I'd probably back them. I think I'd back them. Like, this is the last week. Sheffield United are the worst team in the league by a country mile for XG conceded. So I think you just have to back them. Like, they are genuinely the worst team in the league. So you have to back the United boys to do something. And if they don't today, then Jesus. Like, you know, just get rid. Get rid at that point. But yeah, I think this is the last week. Right, let's take a look at some predicted points for Game Week 9. Who's the highest scoring player? This might help a few people with their potential captaincy shouts. This data is coming from DraftHound. If you want to go and check out that website, a link to that is in the YouTube description. If you use that link as well and sign up for their services, I get a little bit of kickback, which is always great to see. Salah is top 4 predicted points for this week. 8.6 points for him. Still only 36% owned as well, which is absolutely mental. So even if you have Salah and you don't captain him and he does something, you're not going to be like decimated with your rank because he's still like quite a low ownership. Haaland in second with 8.3% predicted points. Then it's Kieran Trippier with 7.1. That is ridiculous and scary, especially as a non-Trippier owner. Then Son and Maddison with 6.6. Then Rashford with 6. And Watkins with 6, and Mbeumo with 5.6. I know a few people have potentially said sell Mbeumo this week, but on predicted points, expected to get 5.6 against Burnley at home. Then Bruno Fernandes with 5.6 against Sheffield United, and then Julian Alvarez finishing it off with 5.5 against Brighton. So yeah, a lot of people have been asking questions about Julian Alvarez. He's on here as one of the top predicted points for this game week, so I probably would look to keep him if I did have him. Who do I play, Haaland or Alvarez? Probably both. Probably both. Depends who's in the rest of your team. Oh my days. Oh my days. I am in a little bit of a sticky situation. What do I do with Botman? Because I don't think he's going to play. Now what I could do is I could do Botman to Tsimikas if we get early team news. That's fine. I could do Botman to Gabriel, which would work out. And would give me really good fixtures. But then in game week 11 or game week 12, we would be in a little bit of a sticky position. Let's get FPL.team back up. It doesn't really like this website for some reason, but yeah, it's here. It's here. Hang on, if I zoom in, does that didn't fix it. That didn't fix it. Sorry, guys. It does look a little bit messy on screen. But let's do some planning. So if we went... Oh, my days. Tsimikas. There we go. So, that's how the team would look for next... Oh, bollocks. I need to reset it, don't I? Reset. So, if we did Tsimikas, this is how the team would look. So, that would be the team for this week. Very strong, very handy. Great. Cool. Then they've got Nottingham Forest. Charlie Taylor's got Bournemouth. But we would want Saka in. Could I get Saka in? That could be... Ooh, no, it doesn't free up that. So we'd have to take Son out for Saka. Like that. That's how we would look for that week. Luton. And then I can just bring in... Tsimikas is looking the better of the option, you know. He is looking the better of the options for my team. I think it might be Tsimikas. If I'm going to bring in a player this week, I think I'm going to bring in Tsimikas for those Liverpool fixtures. Interesting. Need a defender around 5.5 mil. Does it have to be 5.5 mil? Okay, I'll take a look in a minute at your team. Is Tsimikas starting? Don't know yet. That is a big question for me as well, especially if I'm looking to bring him in. I need early team news. We need to know if Tsimikas is going to be starting with this Robertson injury, but you would imagine so. Who should I play? Ake or Akanji? Akanji seems to be like the more popular of the two. 5.5 million or under for defenders. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily be looking to bring in any Spurs players with their fixtures kind of taking a turn. So probably Matty Cash is like the number one. Then around game week 11, Crystal Palace's fixtures turn really good. So, yeah. When does early team news come out usually? It's kind of a little bit hard to judge, to be honest. Like, sometimes it's like a few minutes before the deadline. Sometimes it's post-deadline. It's really difficult to kind of say, but yeah. Burn or Gahey for this week? I'd be going Burn. I would be going Dan Burn. Right, let's have a quick gander on Twitter. People have sent me their teams, so we'll go look at those a little bit more. Didn't mean to click on that guy's profile. Whoops. Just make sure we've not missed anyone else's team. Okay, we've done all these. We haven't done this one, though. Areola, Trippier, Adoji, Cash, Neto, Botman, Jensen, Son. I think Dexter is in the TikTok chat. Watkins, Alvarez, Haaland, Bench, Johnson, Maddison, Anderson, and Saliba. Benching Maddison is rogue. Get Jensen out. Get Maddison in. What are you doing? That's the change I'd make. Jensen out, Maddison in. Don't even bother trying to do anything else. Jensen out, Maddison in. That's it. Anyone know if Botman will play? It's not looking good. Apparently he's made positive progress, but from an article that I've read, apparently he's going to be back next week. So, yeah. I mean, goalkeeper-wise, you don't have any Newcastle defenders, so maybe Johnson. They've kept 3 clean sheets in the past few. So, that's probably what I'd do, Dexter. That is probably what I'd do. Right, let's have a check of any early team news. Yeah, still no early team news, and I kind of need it now. No worries, Dexter, pal. Thank you for coming along to the stream. Hope you enjoyed it. If you do want to leave any of your teams in future streams or questions like that, do leave it in there. My team is Edison, Shaw, Cash, Adoji, Anderson, and Mbeumo, Maddison, Son, Salah, Vissa, Haaland. I've just read something about Edison. Apparently he's quite late back from international duty. Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised to see Ortega this week. So maybe have a goalkeeper on the bench. Maddison captain? Nah, I think there's so many better players this week. Haaland and Salah, they're the better two, to be honest. Palmer or Souček? I'd probably go Souček because I can't remember if Cole Palmer's back from his injury that he picked up. Saka to Maddison. I'm probably going to wildcard next week. Then yeah, go for it. If you're going to wildcard next week, George, have a bit of fun. Take a nice little 1 week punt on a player like James Maddison. Good fixture. He's been doing extremely well. Spurs unbeaten as well in the league. So yeah, do that. Do I want anything from Greg's? Mate, if you could get me a vegan sausage roll, that would be delightful. Thank you very much for that, mate. Thank you very much for that. Look at this. We're getting deliveries. Deliveries live on a TikTok stream. Who would have thought? But yeah, if I could have a vegan sausage roll, mate, that would be appreciated. Absolutely banging, by the way. Better than regular sausage rolls. Yeah, come on. Should I go for captain Salah over Haaland? Why not? Why not? It's up to you, isn't it? Like, I think both are great shouts. Salah is leading the way for predicted points as well. So if that's what you want to do, go for it. My midfield is Foden, Garner, Diaz, Maddison, and Odegaard. Nice. James Garner's a rogue one, to be honest, but like he's starting to get himself into some attacking positions as well. Maybe Sean Dyche knows something we all don't about James Garner. Josh is confirming, apparently Ortega is rumoured to start against Brighton with Edison being back and looking a little bit leggy from international. I have Leno and Areola. Who should I start? I'd probably start Areola. Botman start? I don't think so, Alfie. Looking at the quotes that have come out, apparently he's making positive progress, but yeah, it's still a little bit up in the air. Apparently, I read an article as well. It's going to be the Wolves game that he's back for, apparently. All apparentlys. Went for Foster up front as a differential this week, but could work. The next kind of 5 to 6 fixtures for Burnley are really good, and I think a lot of people are sleeping on Lyle Foster, so great differential shout. Mentioned it in the Wednesday stream as well. He would be, like, if I wanted to upgrade one of my kind of dud forwards, he'd be potentially the one. Maybe you've got Morris still kicking about in your team. I'd probably look I probably would, like I said, look at Lyle Foster. Oh, cheers for the rose, mate. I appreciate that. Would you back Bruno and Rashford or still get rid? No, I'd back him. Oh, it is a cold jacket in it. It's fit. Venezia. Picked it up off a Whatnot stream for like 18 quid as well. Absolutely banging. The Mansfield game is off, which is a real shame, isn't it? But it is what it is. Is Haaland worth captaining still with more predicted points? With Salah having more predicted points? It's one of them, isn't it? Like, predicted points are sometimes a good measure, but like, I feel with captaincy, you've got to kind of just trust your instinct, and you've got a little bit more over predicted points. Like, they're not 100% accurate. So, yeah. And I think there's like 0.3 difference in them. Let's have a look. Yeah, 0.3 difference in points is minimal. It's very minimal. I'm getting Dalot for Ruben, as Manchester United have good fixtures defensively. They do. What did you post? Oh, here's your team. Turner, Trippier, Cash, Adoji, Saka, Son, Madders, Gordon, Haaland, Wilson, Alvarez, Bench, Johnson, Gabriel, Mitoma, Baldock. Roll or Saka to Rashford 1 week punt. I'd go for the 1 week punt. Go for the 1 week punt, mate. If you wildcarded next week, go for a 1 week punt on a United player. Get them in. Have a little bit of fun with the final week if you are wildcarded next week. Yeah, I can check my pinned tweets if you've left me a team. Joel Linton, the GOAT, has left me his team. He's got Turner, Trippier, Cash, Adoji, Maddison, Almiron, Diaby, Gordon, Salah, Watkins and Haaland, benching Morris, Kabore and Tarkowski. Again, double Newcastle is pretty stinky, but you are a Newcastle fan, so I'd probably get it. And if you go in the game, probably a little bit of excitement, but probably from an FPL perspective, I would maybe be tempted to start Morris over like someone like Almiron, but that's just my personal shout. But if you are going the game, you're a Newcastle fan, I get it. I feel the vibes. If that's what you want to do. If that is what you want to do. No worries. Dinosaur, unless you were Joel Linton and the GOAT, I couldn't see your team, mate. It wasn't on the pinned tweet, so apologies. Son or Haaland to captain. Do you think Son will turn up today? Son's playing on Monday. So he's definitely not going to turn up today. But I would probably be more... My personal preference is Haaland. Yeah. Luke saying there, never back the early kickoff. Yeah, always got Mohamed Gandhi. Kind of honking it up in the early kickoffs. Last week was the first week that he kind of showed up as well. Previous weeks this season, he's been a little bit quiet. But he was a menace last week, wasn't he? Absolute menace. Let's have a look if we've got any early team news. We really could do with some. I need to know if Tsimikas is playing. But yeah. No team news yet, which is a bit disappointing. Ah, yeah. He was Joel Linton. Nice one, mate. No worries. Are you going the game tonight or tomorrow? Or is it tonight? I can't remember. I'm going to stick with Miggy, though. Yeah, boy. Go for it. Why not? Enjoy yourself. Isak out? I think so. It's not looking good, is it? So I probably would look to potentially transfer him out. I've got Robert Sanchez in goal. What do you think? Is that a good pick? Again, with goalkeepers, it's always so difficult to judge, and I wouldn't base one game week kind of fixtures, trying to target clean sheets and stuff like that. With goalkeepers, they've got such limited upside. I think you just stick with them. If the keeper's got a good fixture, great. If not, as long as it's not like City, then I think you're fine, and they're not probably going to get bummed. So, yeah, it's all right. But yeah, it is what it is. Bruno or Odegaard this week? I'd probably be leaning a little bit more towards Bruno. Zach, yeah, I'm still rating teams, mate. If you want to leave it on the TikTok, under the pin tweet, at FPLTom_. We're still reviewing people's teams. We're nice. We're generous. If you are on the TikTok stream, you want to come over to the YouTube, you get to see my team on screen right now. I can answer your questions just that little bit easier as well. And when we start reviewing people's teams again and looking for early team news, it will all be on your screen. So all good stuff. All good stuff. I need a midfielder for Sterling. Already got Maddison, Son and Salah, but only got 7 million. So probably someone like James Ward-Prowse, Diaby with the fixture swings coming up for both Villa and West Ham. Maybe someone like Pedro Neto. Those would be my top picks. I've got 2 Spurs defenders. Might be screwed if Fulham scores. That's always kind of the trouble when you do have double defenders, but you take the risk. Obviously, going forward, Fulham, probably not the most attacking team, are they, there in the world? Luis Diaz or Neto? I'd probably be leaning a little bit more towards Pedro Neto over Luis Diaz. Saka or Foden to start? I'd probably start Foden. We don't 100% know about Saka's availability. And, the comments that came out from Arteta yesterday weren't overly encouraging. Let's have a check for any early team news. Someone else has sent me their team. Of course they have. We'll go and have a look at that in a minute. Gordon or Almiron? I'm probably leaning more towards Gordon. Salah, Haaland, Son, captain. For me personally, I'm going Haaland, Salah, then Son in that order as potential captains. Do you think Diaz will start? I don't think Diaz will start, to be honest. Let's have a look. Any early team news? No early team news still. Let's have a look who left me that there. 1.7 mil in the bank. Used a wild card. 1 free transfer. Ruben Tadallo seems good, or do you think something else? I mean, is Botman going to play? Realistically, probably not. You got Estepinian. Yeah, I get the fixtures are really good, and he should be back for that kind of long streak. Baldock, I don't really know whether or not he's going to be back. Is Ruben Diaz definitely out? Like, where has this come from that he's out? Like, I haven't seen anything. If he's definitely out, then yeah, that makes sense. Do that to Dallo, but if not, like, it's not looking encouraging, Alfie, for Botman either. So maybe Botman, or maybe you do Baldock to Tsimikas. That could potentially be a shout. Maybe something like that. But yeah, that's what I'd recommend there. That is what I would recommend there. Oh, Josh sent me a shit ton of roses. Thank you. Thank you, Josh. I was looking the other way, but I do massively appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much for all the roses and all the support that we've been getting recently on TikTok and on YouTube. Keep up the good vibes, guys. Massively appreciated. But yeah. Diaby or Mbeumo to start? I'd probably go Diaby. Probably would go Diaby. They haven't looked too good. Josh absolutely slamming the roses in again. What an absolute goat. Cheers, mate. We've got a sausage roll delivery. Thank you very much, Sean. There we go. That's not what you expect in most people's streams, but what an absolute goat. We've got a sausage roll. So we're gonna tuck into that. Very professional on this stream as well. It's cold, but it's good. The defense is muddied, Alfie. Am I mad for captaining Watkins? Probably this week. I'd probably say you're a little bit too mad. I'm not going to lie. Injury update on Botman. I don't think it's looking too good. Josh, I've just seen you've sent me 25 roses, mate, and I appreciate that. So thank you. This sausage roll is absolutely immense, by the way, as well. Botman to Tsimikas? Yeah, that's the way I'm thinking. Oh, mate, it's so good. So good. Should I put Saka in over Maddison, Diaby, Son, or Salah? No. No, I wouldn't do that. Gomez or Tsimikas? I'd go Tsimikas. Is top 600k good right now as a ranking? Yeah. 100%. The game is quite compact at the moment. And there's a lot of kind of... Like, if you have one good game week, you can massively fly up the ranks. It's really, really close at the moment. So I think as long as you're kind of keeping within that top mill up until around the Christmas period, I think you're in a really good position to have a really good kind of rank this season, which is always good. Zach sent me his team. We'll go and check that out in a minute. His sausage roll, by the way, banging. Minus 12 for Edison Turner, Saliba to Evans, and Visser to Watkins. Nah, I won't be taking a minus 12. Would not be taking a minus 12. Had 25 left and thought, why not give them to you? Mate, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Like I said, I'm always grateful when people gift me stuff or anything like that. Like, it's just mental. Like, it's honestly just mental. Like, doing these streams, seeing all you guys, like, answer questions, follow me. Like, we have regular people now in these streams as well, which is, it just seems a little bit, like, surreal. But yeah, it's great. I prefer a pasty. Yeah, I'm a pasty fan, but you can't go wrong with a Greg sausage roll, though, can you? Neto or Diaby? I'm probably going more towards Neto, to be honest. Let's finish this sausage roll. I mean, if you've ever wanted to see me eat, maybe you've got like a fetish. Here you go. Think Mansfield will go up this season? 100% we're going up this season. 100%. That performance against Notts County was brilliant. Absolutely dominated the game. Looks so good as well defensively. Like, Aidan Flynn, one of the best players that I've ever seen at that level. Ridiculous. George, I'm doing good, mate. We have a sausage roll, so we're absolutely vibing. Saliba updates. From Arteta's press conference yesterday, he basically outlined that he has made like positive progress, but it's all dependent on how yesterday's training went. Colwell or Lascelles, I'd slightly be leaning more towards Lascelles over kind of the concerns around Botman's potential fitness. So yeah, that's the way I'd go there. Yeah, all right, let's finish this sausage roll. It's really good. Really good stuff. Right, that's that done. Sell and Buemo for Diaby. Sell and Buemo for Bowen / Diaby, or wait a week. I'd wait a week. I would wait a week. Sean's back in the chat after his Greg's delivery. Absolute boy and goat for that. I'll give you some money after the stream. Who do I think's winning the championship? Leicester. They're already clear, aren't they? They're absolutely smashing it. So yeah, I'd go Leicester. Jamie said, I have a free transfer. I don't know what I should use it because my team is very solid at the moment. Could I send you my team? Yeah, if you want to send me a team. At FPLTom_ on Twitter. Leave it under my pinned tweet and we will review a few more of those before the deadline. Murph said, no changes for me. Maddison captain. Bold, brave. But I like it. Slides and Vibes FC going all the way, mate. Cash or Colwell? I'd go in Cash. My friend prefers vegan sausage rolls to the normal ones. Quite a few people have said that as well. I don't really have a choice because I am vegan, but yeah, I don't know. A lot of people have said that. It's always a nice little topic of conversation that, you know, people randomly bombard me with, but, you know, whatever. A championship fantasy would be absolute class. I think one exists, but obviously it's not on like the same scale as FPL and stuff. It'd be absolute carnage though, to be honest. Vegan sausage rolls are clear, by the way. Sean agrees in the chat. Who should I take Sterling out for this week? Probably looking towards maybe like someone like Maddison, Bowen, Diaby, someone around there. Those would be my top picks for that. Right, a few people have apparently sent me their teams. Jamie, I can't remember if you're on the TikTok one or the YouTube one. He sent me his team. Use the transfer or save it to get a Brighton and Arsenal attacking asset for next week. Looking at the team, Jamie, it's in a really good place, to be honest, mate. I would recommend just rolling the transfer. Take one into next week. And then you can obviously, like you said, bring in those Brighton players, bring in those Arsenal players for that fixture kind of swing. So that's probably the way that I would be leaning, Jamie. So yeah, TikTok or YouTube chat. I can't remember where you are, but yeah. But yeah, that's my suggestion there, mate. Right, let's have a check. Make sure no one else has sent me their team or it's hidden or anything like that. It's probably weird sometimes, Twitter, isn't it? When it does that. It's annoying as well. It's really annoying. Okay, we've done them all. Right, let's have a look if we've got any early team news. Because we're starting to get a little bit desperate. We need the early team news. Where is he? Where's the early team news? Come on. Someone's surely got to have some. How we send teams on Twitter, at FPLTom_. Leave it on my pinned tweet. And yeah, do that. Should I get rid of Bruno for an Arsenal midfielder for next week since United got City? Probably would make sense. You could move to Saka and then maybe look to go back to United players or Arsenal players because both of them have a really good run. Zach, I could not see your teammate, unfortunately. I do apologise. It wasn't there. So either if you want to send it again or just type it out in the chat and I can review it that way. Sometimes it does this where certain people's teams just don't seem to kind of filter through, which is really annoying. But yeah, unfortunately, that's the way it is. I bought Joe Gomez. Fair enough. 2 questions, mate. What do you plan to do with... What does that say? I can't quite read it. It's like the... What do you plan to do with... There's a heart in the way. Hang on. If we go... Saka. What do you plan to do with Saka and is Salah worth a captain punt? So, Saka I don't have, but I would like to get him back in. The only way that I can realistically get him back in is if I take Son out next week for Saka, which is potentially something that I think I'm going to do anyway. I need to get off this triple Spurs. It's been okay, but they've not like blown the world away, have they? So, you know, that's the plan. And then Salah, I definitely think is worth a captaincy punt this week. I would say, you know, he's got the highest predicted points for this week. Always seems to do well in the derby as well. It's not like a goal fest usually, but he always seems to be there. What kappa top are you wearing? I have a Venezia training like jacket thing on. Absolutely love like football jackets more than shirts. And yeah, we've got the Venezia one on today. It's looking pretty fresh, isn't it? Looking pretty fire. Filthy. Right, apparently Regan sent me his team as well, so we're going to have a look on Twitter. We've got 2 notifications. We've got Regan's team. That one's come through. Pickford, Konate, Gabriel, Trippier, Walker, Bernardo, Bruno Fernandes, Son, Rashford, Haaland, Darwin. Obviously, we need to kind of wait and see about early team news on the 2 Liverpool players. I think Darwin might maybe be benched. Late back from international, early kickoff. It's always a difficult one to say, isn't it, to be honest, whether or not he's going to play. I mean, there's not really a benching kind of tact for you, to be honest. But yeah, maybe. Let's wait and see. If we get early team news, I probably would say maybe like Nketiah to like allow Foster if you've got a transfer kicking about. Just that way you've got, you know, going to have at least 11 players on the pitch. I think they're about the same price as well, so absolutely goated. Absolutely gold. Right, let's have a look if we've got any early team news. Oh, come on. Really could do with some early team news. It would be nice. It would be nice, wouldn't it? Just provide us with some. We want some early team news. Zach sent me his team again, and I don't think it's come through again. I'm not gonna lie, Zach. It's not looking good. Yeah, I can't see it. I genuinely can't see it. There's a potential City leaked time. Yeah, okay, I could see that. But yeah, I'm afraid Zach, it hasn't come through again, mate. Like, I genuinely can't see it, so I do apologise, pal. If you want to type it me out, that would do. I have Pickford in goal. Should I change that? No, I wouldn't make like a transfer based off a goalkeeper who they've got for 1 week. No. It's just not worth it. Like, a 1 week punt on a goalkeeper, it just doesn't. Like, what realistically can they do? Like, they're never ever gonna get like super ridiculous mega points unless you're Leno, where you do pick up those like mega wins. Like, just doesn't happen. Hoping Bruno hauls against Sheffield United, but knowing United, they'll make things difficult. Yeah, I can see it just being like a 1-0 like slugfest, to be honest. Rather than it being a convincing United performance, they're just going to like limp across the line, aren't they? We've got 19 minutes till the deadline. Are you not transferring Botman out? I am. I'm just waiting for early team news. That's the plan. I need to know if Tsimikas is playing. And at the moment, we don't have a clue. But yeah, we need to know. So if anyone has any early Liverpool team news, I need to know it. I need to know if Tsimikas is playing, basically. So it's going to be like a right down to the minute, last minute decision, kind of whether or not I keep Botman and we just play Charlie Taylor, whether or not we get Tsimikas in, or Gabriel. But Gabriel's, I think, is not an option, really. He's less of an option, to be honest. I think it is going to be Botman, Tsimikas, or we just bench Botman and we play Charlie Taylor. That's kind of the vibe we're going for at the moment. That is the vibe. I have Konate and Nunes. I need them to play 100%. Could I wait 1 more week to get Salah in, or do it now? I think you could wait 1 more week. But obviously he is going to probably have another price rise, maybe 2 price rises if he goes off. I think this would probably be the last week where, you know, you can go into a game week confident that you don't even have to captain him to kind of, you know, still gain rank on people. But yeah, I definitely think next week is like a week you need to have him in. But if you can, you know, if you're wildcarding in 10, maybe this week is probably a week you can probably get away with it. -8 hit for Edison to Turner, Visser to Højlund. Like, I wouldn't even be bothering with Turner, to be honest, in case that game's off. In Mbuemo or Neto, I'm leaning more towards Neto. Do I have a league? No, I do not have a league. I probably should create a league, shouldn't I? Why am I not taking Botman out? I potentially am. But I'm just waiting for early team news. We're waiting for early team news on the Liverpool game. If we find out that Tsimikas is playing, it's going to be Tsimikas in for Botman. If I can't get any early team news, I'm just going to roll the transfer and put Charlie Taylor in and take Botman out and put him on the bench. That's the plan there. Really bad weather around like Nottingham and stuff. The River Trent was like close to bursting its banks, and obviously where the ground is right next to it. So it's not the pitch, it's kind of the surrounding areas that might be an issue, but it looks like it's going to be fine. It looks like it's going to be ahead. But yeah, it would just be funny. You take a -8 and then that. Juan Hee-chan or Neto, I still would be leaning towards Neto. Saka and Saliba likely to start. I've said this, like, I feel like I am repeating myself because I literally am. They both kind of have had like positive, these are Arteta's quotes, positive kind of training over the period, but yes, Jamie, I did have a look at your team, mate. Sorry, mate. If you go on the YouTube one, you can like just scroll back like 5 minutes or so, and it was there. But yeah, we already had a look at that one. But yeah, basically they have had like positive kind of training, and it was all based around whether or not they are going to be fit for the game, on how they kind of performed in that training session. And Ketia or Nunes, oh my days. I mean, I know your team, Regan. If we get early team news, I'd say stick with Núñez if he's playing, but if not, then yeah, it's a tough one. I'd still think I'd stick with it. Yeah, someone's just tweeted this. Pitch is looking good for the Nottingham Forest Luton game, but roads around the area, not so good. Not so good. But it still should be on. Still should be on. Right, there is no early team news, and it's doing my head in. I really, really need some Liverpool team news. Who's good for Liverpool team news? Who is good for Liverpool team news? Because we need to know. We need to know. Botman to Trippier for a -4. Worth it? I mean, probably, because like Trippier's EO is going to be absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? Ronaldo or Messi? Messi clear, mate. Messi is clear. Don't even bother. Who should you replace Saka with? Either one of the Spurs boys, Bowen, Diaby, those would probably be my top picks. If we get early team news that Diaz is playing, he potentially could be a little bit of a differential pick if you wanted to cover off Mohamed Salah and you didn't have him. Should I start Gabriel or Elliot Anderson? Gabriel, mate. Come on. Come on. What are you playing at? Gabriel every day of the week. Do you think Diaz will play? He was late back from international. Their game was on Wednesday in a high altitude country as well. Klopp has seen before, you know, the only times where he benches these players is when they are late back from international duties. It's one of them. Hopefully we can get some early team news that kind of can put that to bed, but I do think maybe Diaz and Núñez could be benched this week. Gravenbach, first Premier League start today. Ooh, interesting. Come on, early team news. Let's have some. Let's have some, please. Please. We're begging because we need to know. We need to know. Do you think I should start Darwin over Botman? Yeah, I would, Blackjack. I'd start Darwin over Botman. I think there's more chance of Darwin at least playing the game than Botman not playing at all. Do you think Ruben Diaz is starting today? I've seen a few people question that. And I think he might. But again, another one. Who was it who tweeted? Oh! Ho ho ho! We've got some potential early team news from leaked lineups. But apparently he's been wrong multiple times. But, you know, something positive. Something positive, hopefully. Yeah, it looks like he's been wrong before, but... Yeah. We've got a few notifications. Ooh. This is in the standard. This is the predicted lineup there. Alisson, Alexander-Arnold, Maptip, Van Dijk, Tsimikas, McAllister, Sloboslai, Gravenbach, Diaz, Jota, and Salah. So that's in the standard. So thank you for sending me that, Regan. Harry's left me his team as well. Let's review that. There is 10 minutes till the deadline. And then we are just going to be purely just answering questions and all that. Cool. Areola, Walker, Trippier, Adoji, Son, Gordon, Neto, Maddison, Salah, Julian Alvarez, Haaland, Reguilon. Is he fit? Probably not. Probably not. I haven't really looked into Reguilon, to be honest. But yeah, no changes I would make there, Harry, to that team, to be honest. Looking very good for this week, mate. Looking very good for this week. We're still waiting for early team news. Still waiting for early team news. And Buemo or Neto, I'd probably go more towards Neto, to be honest. I would probably go more towards Neto. Oh, I really could do with some early team news about Tsimikas. Someone's whistling outside, and it was a very loud whistle. Good for them. Reguilon and Varane back in training. Thank you, Murph. What an update. Providing updates as well. Sausage rolls, injury updates. Brilliant. What a guy. Who would I replace Saka with? I mean, it depends. If you're on a wild card and a short-term punt, I would be maybe going for one of the Spurs boys. Longer term, probably someone like Bowen, Diaby, these players with really good fixtures. Matoma potentially as well after this game week. Thoughts on game week 10? 2 transfers, Diaby to Matoma and Darwin to Watkins for free. Yeah, why not? Both have really good fixtures. Arguably, Watkins is the more attacking out of him and Diaby, so I think that makes sense. I think that makes complete sense. I like it, Blackjack. I like it a lot. Jota 99% playing and Andy Robertson not playing now. Andy Robertson's definitely not playing. We know that. But the big question is Tsimikas playing? Because I need to know. But we're not getting any early team news, which is frustrating. It's very frustrating. Alright, we're going to do this just while I'm here. Just in case. And then... yeah, like that. And we're going to save that. So yeah, we've changed that around just in case. So Charlie Taylor's come in for Botman at the moment. But if we get early team news that Tsimikas is playing, I think I would do Tsimikas to Botman. It's such a difficult one, isn't it? Start Neto or Bowen? I'd probably go Neto. He's got the better fixture, hasn't he? Should I triple captain Salah against Everton since I don't have Haaland? No, I'd probably wait for the double game week, but I could see why you potentially want to do it. But yeah, I'd save it for that double game week that's probably going to come in around game week 20, game week 21 for Manchester City and Brentford. Those would be the ones where I'd be like, yeah, I'd wait till then. Any early team news would be delightful. Would be honestly so delightful. Would be delightful. No reliable sources on the Liverpool. This is tough. This is really tough. Captain Haaland, Salah or Maddison? Haaland, Salah, Maddison, that order. Captain Haaland or Salah? Again, it's a 50-50 split. Salah is leading the way for predicted points for this week. But I do think Haaland is going to have a good game against Brighton. Hopefully. We're watching that game at 3 o'clock, just like hoping that he does something. Otherwise, I'm just going to be like behind the sofa after a Salah masterclass. But yeah, is what it is. Put Tsimikas in. If he doesn't start, blame me. Yeah, I'd need more roses, Josh, for that. What a beautiful stag. It's a wonderful kit, isn't it? It is a wonderful Mansfield shirt. Yeah, we need to wear the Mansfield shirt more. But, you know, the washing machine broke at the flat. So if you are, you know, thinking like, oh, maybe I'll give him some roses. Maybe I'll subscribe to his channel. Maybe I'll like this video. Then do that, because, you know, then we can buy a washing machine and I can wear clean clothes. Who knows? Shall I play Gabriel for Arsenal or Evan Ferguson? I'd play Gabriel. Watkins or Bowen? I'd probably lean more towards Watkins. I'd lean more towards Watkins. That would be the way that I'd go for that. Right. We have 7 minutes till the deadline. We have no Liverpool early team news, which is heartbreaking. It is absolutely heartbreaking. Højlund or Isak? I'd go Højlund. I don't think Isak's fully fit for this game week. So I'd be going Højlund. 100%. Keep the likes coming in for the stream, guys. Pushes it out to more people. Gets more people in for the final deadline. It's great. Forest game still going ahead. Yeah, apparently the pitch is fine. It's just the surrounding areas that are a potential issue. But I feel if it was that big of an issue, they would have already called it off. Salah captain or Haaland? Again, it's a real 50 split, to be honest. I'm leaning more towards Haaland, but I can understand why people are going to go for Salah. Someone's asked Flecken or Areola. Apparently Flecken's back and available, so I'd probably go Flecken. That fixture's a lot better than the Villa one, where I think there's going to be plenty of goals. Will Isak start? I don't think so. Don't think so, mate. Do not think Isak is going to start. 5 minutes till the deadline. Make sure you have your teams locked in, guys. I'll laugh if he starts and you don't put him in when you said do it, but then I'll look stupid if he doesn't. True, Josh, mate, but yeah. If I don't get any early team news, I'm not doing it. I'm just going to roll, because then Botman's back for next week. They've got Wolves, so I could just play him in that one. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens. No early team news. No early team news. No. Great. Oh, do you think Peterborough United are a good team? Couldn't care less about Peterborough. Ha! I'm going to start calling you Luke Bennett for all that begging. Lad, I ain't Luke Bennett. I ain't going, thank you for the roses. Thank you for the roses. We ain't Luke Bennett. We ain't a beg. We ain't there yet. And it's also a washing machine for the flat in general, mate. You know, take you out for a nice dinner date or something. You know, something cute if we get some more roses in. That's what it could pay for, but, you know. Salah or Højlund captain? I'd probably go Salah. Bruno, good differential captain? Yeah. I mean, he's on penalties, probably going to play 90 minutes against one of the worst teams in the league. But again, it's also Manchester United. That's the caveat. Again, with Højlund, any United players are good differential captains if you want to go down that route this week. Sheffield United are by and far the worst team in the league. But again, like I said, it's Manchester United. But yeah. It is what it is. Right, 4 minutes till the deadlines. We have early team news. To get it, just subscribe to our free news limit. Nah, just kidding. Darwin benched. Diaz starts. That is from Lazy FPL, a very reliable source. So if you do have Darwin, he is benched. Diaz is starting. So yeah, someone's just asked, Katie's just asked, should I start Diaz? According to Lazy FPL, Diaz is starting. We are just now waiting for Simicast. A lot of people are like, Simicast, where's Simicast? That's all I want to know. But it's good for you guys. At least we got some team news. So yeah, Darwin benched and Diaz is starting. That's from Lazy FPL, who is quite a reliable source in the FPL space. We've got 3 minutes till the deadline as well, so make sure you go and change your teams. If you've got Darwin in, look to potentially take him out. Diaz is starting as well. But now we just wait for Simicast. As expected, Diaz, Jota and Salah, yeah. Now we just wait. Can we please have some news for Simicast? That's all we're asking. Just a little bit of something. A little bit of something. That's all we want. All we want is a little bit of Simicast. 2 minutes till the deadline, guys. 2 minutes. Is there any news on the Everton team? Not that I have seen. Rashford, a crazy captaincy pick. We just had this chat. Any Manchester United players aren't bad differential captains, but at the same time, it's Manchester United. So take it at your own risk, really. Come on. Yeah, don't plug your news there. Like, just tell me if Simicast is starting. That's all we need to know. Yeah, Everton do have crazy expected goals. They're second for expected goals, which is absolutely mental. There is 1 minute till the deadline, and I still don't know if Simicast is playing. What are we doing? I don't think it's going to happen, is it? I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think we're bringing Simicast in. Maybe it's going to look good in a few weeks when he's benched or whatever, but you know this week he's fully going to do something if I bring him in. Oh, why could we not get any early team news about Simicast? That's gutting. That is gutting. But it is what it is. Like, there's probably like 30 seconds until the deadline, so make sure you've got your team locked in, guys. Make sure you're getting it in. We'll stay live for about 5-10 minutes after the deadline. So if you want to ask me any general football questions or my plans for the next few weeks in terms of FPL, then do get them in. One final check of any early team news. I probably wouldn't even have time to like rapidly click on it. Yeah, we've got no early team news. We're going to just play with Charlie Taylor instead. He has played the past few games, full 90 minutes. So yeah, we're just going to go with Charlie Taylor for this week. Hope for the best and see what happens. Hope for the best and see what happens. It has just hit 11 o'clock as well, so that is the deadline. The FPL deadline has gone. I'm just going to refresh it. My team is locked in for this game week. Julio Iglesias. Thank you everyone who's been in this stream. Katie's decided to roll her transfer. Good luck to everyone as well in the TikTok and YouTube chats. Good luck this game week. We're going to stay live for about 5 to 10 minutes. Answer any of your guys' questions for future game weeks. And yeah, hopefully it plays off as I doesn't have a Salah brace. I mean, he always seems to do something in the derbies, doesn't he? But it's one of them, isn't it? It's one of them. Like, he's only at like 35% owned, so he's probably not going to be too much of a rank killer this week, but in future weeks, if he does something today, he is probably going to absolutely slap and start killing ranks. Big time player is Armo. He is a big time player. Hopefully he can get 30 minutes against a tired Everton defence. Something. Cheers, Josh. Good luck to you, mate, as well. Good luck to you this game week. Hopefully see you in future streams. Who have I captained? I've gone for Haaland. Haaland is my captain for this game week. Sick perm. Cheers, mate. Yeah. My hair is not naturally curly. This is all like synthetic. Is that the right word? It's all fake. Yeah. My hair is like just really straight otherwise and crap. But I'm thinking about getting rid of it. I don't know. I've had like the perm since lockdown. That was kind of the idea. Everyone else was shaving their heads. And I was like, yeah, I'll get a perm. That'll look so much cooler. But it's kept for like 3-4 years now. But yeah, I think it might be time for a change at some point. But I don't know what to go for. Like, I've had curtains, I've had long hair, I've had short hair, I've had a quiff. Nothing ever seems to like look right, but yeah, it is what it is. Any football or FPL questions or any just general questions, we'll answer them for the next 5-10 minutes. Josh is going to be here for every single stream. Absolutely love that. It's going to be a Friday stream next week. Friday deadline, which is great. I've got next Friday off as well. Got that off from work, so I will be live next Friday for that deadline. I do prefer the Friday ones. I'm not a morning person. I don't know if you were around for the start of the stream, but like my voice was like croaky and I just wasn't there. Did you watch the KSI fight and did you think he got robbed? Yeah, I did watch the KSI fight. I watch a lot of boxing. If you follow me on Twitter, you saw that I was at the Lee Wood fight. And yeah, the thing is, right, KSI wasn't really throwing too much. He wasn't really taking center of the ring, and that's kind of how they judge points. And he was just doing a lot of holding, kind of in the clutch. Like, there wasn't too many punches being thrown from either side, and it's really difficult to call. And I always feel like with these boxing judges, they're not going to give it to an amateur. So, you know, maybe he was robbed, but I don't think he put in like an overly convincing performance to kind of go the other way, if you know what I mean. What do I do for work? I work in sports broadcasting. That is my job. Yeah. So, like, yeah, pretty cool. Same hairstyle as Lee Wood as well. Yeah. Both from, like, you know, Nottingham as well. Well, not really, but yeah. Yeah. Is what it is. Deadline has already passed. Yeah, I think a draw probably would have been the fair result, but it's just one of them, isn't it? Like, overall, it was a really low-quality fight. Like, the two main events, they were dismal. I do feel sorry for people that, you know, paid for that event because it wasn't great. Unknown C has said Brighton to beat Manchester City today, in my opinion. We'll wait and see. Maybe that happens. Maybe it doesn't happen. Who knows? But yeah, keep your questions coming in, guys. We will answer some more of them. We'll stay live for about another 5 minutes, and then we'll crack off for the day. Videos will be coming on the YouTube channel, so if you want to go and check that out, they'll be coming today, tomorrow, Monday. Then there is no midweek stream this week as I'm going to a gig, and then on Friday we will be live for the deadline stream. So yeah, make sure you're there for that. Do you think Lee Wood was losing before he knocked out Warrington? Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Lee Wood was getting battered in that ring before he kind of knocked him out. But that's what Lee Wood does best, to be honest. He is a massive underdog, always on the back foot, and then just randomly just has that knockout ability in him, and it just makes for excellent fights, doesn't it? Obviously vacated his belts now as well, moving up to the next weight class. So it's going to be interesting to see how that one goes. That TPS player has come back. Hi, mate. Welcome back. Nah, City beats Brighton 3-0. They've got Rodri back. They do have Rodri back. I think he'll be a big influence on the game. He's just a quality player as well, isn't he? Absolutely quality player. But yeah, do keep your questions coming in, guys. We will stay live for a couple more minutes. See if anything else happens exciting, but probably not. Thoughts on the Fury fight? Yeah, it'll be interesting. The pay-per-view price isn't nice though, is it? Like, it's pretty grim. It's pretty grim. It does seem very much like a Tyson Fury fight though. Like, you know, there's nothing on the line, but it's going to be an interesting fight. Yeah, it seems a bit of a money maker, doesn't it? Does seem a little bit of a money maker, but we'll wait and see. I think there's going to be better and bigger fights for Fury. Josh in the YouTube chat said, fun fact, I'm also a boxer. Been doing it for about 2 years. Got my first bout coming very soon. Would be interesting to see that, Josh. Let me know how that goes, mate. Drop me a follow on Twitter as well if you want, mate, and we'll chat about some boxing. Should I transfer out Botman for cash next week? I mean, if we get negative news that Botman's definitely not going to be back, then probably yeah. Cash, a lot more attacking option. Really good fixtures as well coming up for Villa, so definitely something I would be looking to potentially do. Boxer / chef. Get in there. Libosh. Right, I think we're going to call it there, guys. Thank you for everyone who's been in today's stream. Like I said, if you're on TikTok and you want to come over to the YouTube channel, there will be regular content being posted on there. But yeah, thank you very much for watching today, ladies and gentlemen. Good luck this game week, and I will see you back for the deadline stream on Friday. In a bit.